Hey there, Yapeth Grimm for Blind in Philadelphia. I just wanted to make a video here about something that just happened whenever I went shopping. Normally, whenever I go shopping, I go where there is predominantly black low income families that are in the neighborhood. Beautiful people. Whenever I go to these neighborhoods, typically, aside if I'm going to the library, that's another story that you guys have been updated on. But when I go shopping in these neighborhoods or wandering around, nobody really grabs me. Nobody mistreats me. There's a lot of respect, and um, if ever I need any help, then there's always someone there who's going to be willing to be helpful in the ways that I need them to be helpful. So I'm going to the store, and uh, it's about the time that the kids are wandering around in full force, and it's great. It's great. The kids are awesome. Um, and I was going up to the door of the grocery store, and I can hear this kid run up. Very familiar sound of kind of a. Yeah, it's funny when now that I'm blind, but it's like whenever I know, I instantly know it's a kid, um, just by the sounds of how their shoes hit the ground, and uh, you can um, you can hear them when they're breathing, and very kid sound. And before I can say anything, this other person standing around sounded like a older black guy. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold up, hold up!" He says, "Not you, blind man, the kid." That guy says, "I don't mean to overstep. Excuse me if I do, but our friend who's blind is not gonna recognize who you are when you're running up to him like that." And he says, "So now that I got your attention, son, why don't you ask him how to handle it?" And so the kid just kind of really shy all of a sudden, and I said, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I'm glad that you're willing to listen. I told him, whenever you see somebody who's blind or somebody who uh, has any type of obvious thing about them that uh, could be considered a disability. They're in a wheelchair, or it's just always good to announce yourself first. Don't grab, don't touch. Um, if the person is blind, just simply let them know that you're there, and offer whatever help you feel like you're able to offer, and we'll just go from there. Just have a conversation. And the kid was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." And he said, "Thanks for telling me. Um, I didn't know, and I'm sorry if I scared you." I said, "Nothing to apologize for. We're good on that. I'm glad that you're willing to hear me out." Um, Older gentleman to the side, he said, "If I may interject," and I said, "Sure, sure." So I recognize your voice from always being here anyway. Uh, so, and I do. That guy talks to me often. And he says, "What the brother is saying also, what you need to understand is, he trusts us um, in this part of Philly." And he says, "I understand you're a young man and you're coming into your own, but be careful when you're approaching other people who are blind or in a wheelchair or something, especially outside of this place, because if some white savior asshole sees you, they don't care if you are being responsible by helping somebody else. They don't care about that. You have a responsibility to look after yourself too. So, all the more reason to announce yourself." The kid said, "Yeah, yeah." Um, he said, "I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that at all. And it really hurt my heart because these kids are beautiful people, and it's it's just upsetting to me that, and this isn't new information, but it's upsetting to be a part of this conversation where the black community is trying to look after me as a blind person and try to educate each other um, on how to be a decent human being in a world that assumes that you're not because you're black.